the cloud.
We are live. We are finally live. Let's get all these alerts off. That was kind of a painful morning, but you know what? We are now in the afternoon now. I just happened to look at the time. Good morning, everyone. This is Carol Sue, aka Naughty Boss, live on Monday Mindset with Two
Sistas. Hey, good afternoon, everyone. As I'm trying to adjust myself on video here, it has been a crazy morning, and you know, we always try to adapt to certain situations and events that pop up. And I am reporting to you live from Haverford, Pennsylvania. And obviously we had, well, I shouldn't say we, on my end, had a lot of technical issues, but it is Mindset Monday, and we are all set to, you know, really dive into Mindset Monday. It is Monday, September 13th, so 2 days after the 20th anniversary of 9/11. And, you know, it's been kind of a crazy weekend, a crazy day, but all good things. And some maybe things that are weighing heavy on our minds. I know, especially for the Casella family, we're getting very close to the 1-year anniversary of our dad's passing. And I said to someone the other day, you know, as sad as it was when our dad passed, the three of the siblings, myself, Carol Sue, and Fran, specifically witnessed our dad being accepted into the Lord's hands. To me, that's a miracle. It was sad, but it was beautiful at the same time. So I think we're all kind of have some heaviness in our hearts a little bit.
Yes, and I think, you know, when you go through experiences that are very life-changing, and sadly, yesterday, I don't know if it was yesterday, actually, I believe it was yesterday, a young woman that I've met through working with educating people on what's going on in the school systems and parents and kind of getting all on board. It's a young mom that I've met who was really struggling because her dad was sadly passed yesterday of cancer, and she was obviously with him and helping him through the last few days, the last few weeks where, you know, things got really heart-wrenching. And she could not always be present with kind of being in the involvement in the group of things that were coming up. And I said, no, you know, your time, you know, with your dad, no matter limited as far as communication, whatever it may be, just being present. And I think that is one of the things that we really learned through that experience, the importance, but also the blessing that comes with that. I hope you can't hear Johnny in the background. He's scolding the cat. I'm scolding the cat all day. So he's being scolded again. I can hear him. So hopefully you're not hearing that. But anyhow, so, you know, the experiences of, you know, going through the last really year and a half of all this craziness going on, and actually more than craziness, it's been, gosh, we're going really, to me, we're in the fall of, you know, it's really 2019. You know, I look back to that reflection from what was going on in our country, where we didn't really know the virus that was present, which I truly believe in my heart. We didn't find out about the official first case until December, but retrospect, it was probably already here. And that's, you know, we also noticed, you know, that things were a little bit different with dad, you know, his energy level and whatnot. And then I think about all the parents, and we frequently throughout the year have talked about that, all those poor family members that were, because of the virus and the restrictions and the mandates, were not allowed to be with them. And for us to share our experience, part of the difficulty is we do feel the blessings, how blessed we were to not only be with dad going into his next journey, but taking care of him, loving him, laughing with him, playing Uno. He was a big, you know, King Uno, just breaking bread with him. chatting around the dinner table. We did watch a little bit of sports, but that was kind of a tug on our hearts, because at that time we got to remember, the country was taking a lot of their anger through sports. And for me, when a country is going through a tough time, sports usually unites us, but because of the whole George Floyd issue, it just got really weirdness that was going on in our country. And it's difficult because we did see the blessings. And I think that's part of what weighs heavy on our heart, is we do feel so much for those that were not able, that got the word that their loved one left, weren't allowed to hold their hand, weren't allowed to be with them. And sadly, there were a lot of families that were trying to break out their family from, whether it was the nursing home, the hospital, whatever, and were not successful at that. My heart breaks for them because of knowing what we went through as difficult. I mean, the memories that come up and realizing, I was really there July, August for a month, literally was home 6 days and turned around and flew back home for really another month. And with all of that, still having that mindset that the end game, the end goal always, when you think about it, is we're born to die. So you have that celebration of birth, but there is also a celebration of death in reflecting of their legacy, and hopefully that you were there to be part of it. But if you were not, and you were one of those families that could not be with your loved one, my heart breaks for the caregivers, because they in turn almost had to, be that replacement family for that loved one, because it wasn't their fault that the loved one couldn't come. It was the restrictions that were being placed by not only the country, possibly the facility that loved one was at. So I think with your mindset, you have to always go with knowing that as much as it was heart-wrenching, hurtful, sad, devastating, even anger, validate. You have a right to feel those things. You want to validate those things. And a good mindset will allow you to be kind to yourself, to feel those things, because you should feel, not disregard it. Because for you, that was part of your mourning journey, is not being able to be with your loved one. And the flip side of that, we were very blessed to be with Dad going through what he went through. I'll never forget the time that a lot of his nieces and nephews were coming over. And of course they were nervous about his health, and they had the mask on, and Dad's like, take the mask off. I want to see your face. I don't want to like leave and you got this thing on your face. So he was very brave. He did not die. He's 93, he's young. He did not die of anything that was COVID related. So I want to make sure we're very clear on that. His passing had to do with, as big as his heart was, as loving as his heart was, his heart had said, my time is come, that there's another door you have to enter. And actually, we did receive word through a medium that's kind of the experience was for him. That was the message that came through literally a few hours after his passing, was please tell them. And this particular medium did not know who was in the room, and let our cousin know that wanted it addressed specifically to yourself, myself, and Fran. And we were the three that of our dad's children that were present, to let them know it was like going into the next room. And how comforting that was.
It was very comforting. And, it just brings back to mind that being present is the presence of being present. And like you said, when you go back to all those families that did not have that opportunity, we are blessed in times when we don't even think when things are happening, right? And I'm actually having a few adjustment issues here, but I think we're better now.
Okay.
You know what? I can't get away from this IT stuff. It follows me like, it's like, I think of the little game with the do,
Pac-Man.
Pac-Man. Yeah, that's what I
love
meant.
that. I love that game.
So
Although I'm into Candy Crush now. Jed and I, my grandson, your great nephew, he's really into Candy Crush, and so am I. So he's got it on his iPad, and I have it on mine. So every time that we're together, what level are you at, Non? What level are you at? I go, I'm so far ahead of you. It's gonna take you a while to catch up. So he gets a big kick out of that, and we help each other. Like there'll be times where he'll end up playing for me, and because he'll see things from a different perspective, like when you get the secret code or certain secret things that you can do. I don't even pay attention. I just hit play. And he's like, no, you forgot you had this. I'm like, yeah, you do it for me. So, but I that whole Pac-Man thing, with technology, and it can, when you're traveling, it can get kind of, whether it may be the connection, whether it's you're using equipment that sometimes you use, but you don't normally always use. And now you're taking that on the road and expect that it's going to go perfect, and it doesn't happen. And so what?
Yeah. So we figured it out. That's the bottom line. We were going to make it work either way. And I think that's I think as far as mindset goes, yes, it was frustrating. Oh, I can't connect this. What's wrong with that? In the end, it does work out. In the grand scheme of things, although we are not, obviously we're live doing this video, we are not live on our page, but this will get uploaded to the page. So
right, and going to mindset, I wanted to talk about two aspects of mindset, which we don't always talk about. And I want to know if our clients, our customers, our viewers, our audience know that there's actually two types of mindset. There is the fixed mindset, and then there is the growth mindset. So I'm going to give you a couple examples. The first one has to do with desire. So there's usually, when we talk about, hold on now, see, I'm having technical issues. This thing is like freezing up on me. When we talk about mindset, there's actually 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there is six things that really encompass. So you have a desire, you have skills, you've got effort, setbacks, feedback, and talented peers within that growth mindset. So one of the first things when it comes to desire is, how many times do we always say, I'll stick to what I know. Either I'm good at it or I'm not. And that kind of closes like the mindset and the door. Like, I'm only going to stick with what I'm good at, because that would mean I have to get out of my comfort zone or try something in different ways. So instead of thinking it that way, try thinking it, let me give it to it again, because it's also giving me a hard time, is I want to learn new things. I'm eager to take the risk. So see how the fixed mindset says, I'm really good at this. Like, I'm going to give an example of somebody that likes to be in the kitchen. How many of us say, oh, I love to cook. Bacon's not my thing. I'm just going to stick to cooking. Or vice versa. You're very good at baking, and I know that. And a lot of times I hear you say, that's what I'm good at. That's kind of what I'm sticking to. Instead of saying, I want to learn new things, and I'm eager to take the risk. So when I look at that, so we're going to use cooking as an example. I love to cook. I love to bake. So I don't necessarily fall into either category, but I'm not a really good recipe person. So I stick to what I know. A little dash of this, a little dash of that. So what I've been doing the last week is actually following recipes. Now I'm going to tell you why, a little cheat sheet. As we've talked about, John and I have talked about doing a more vegan / vegetarian type of lifestyle. So we're kind of doing a little bit of both. And I have to say, we've been doing this now for about 10 days, and I've lost 3 pounds. And I'm eating good food. I'm doing the same amount of exercising, so I'm not like killing it, doing something more. Actually, I have to say, last week, I was less active than I have been in a long time, because I was doing a lot of computer work. So by that, we decided, John and made the decision, hey, let's order food, groceries from, I think it's called Green Fresh or Fresh Green Market, something like that, whatever it is. And the meals come, and all the ingredients are specifically tailored to and you have a recipe. It's a big card that you have to follow this recipe. And I'm not one to follow recipes. It's not my forte. Somehow I always mess it up, blah, blah, blah. So I actually been doing better and kind of patting myself on the back and saying, you know what, keep going, keep doing it. Just double check what you're doing. make sure you're double checking, the cooking instructions and all that. And I have found that I'm kind of liking following the recipe right now. Again, not my thing. I'm not real good at it because I always get the urge to like add my own little version of it. And then and I think part of the problem why I get frustrated with that is when I go to duplicate it because I'm not following a recipe. I don't remember what little dash of this or that I put in. So that's where the frustration lies. How about you? Do you have something that you have a fixed mindset, but you're going to try to change it over to a growth mindset?
Yes, I would say that definitely the IT stuff throws me off balance. However, when I was working on our website last week, I think I did a pretty damn good job. So like, I always say to myself, oh my God, what's the big deal? Like, why? The point I'm trying to get at is why do we work ourselves up when things go wrong? Because we expect things to work properly. They don't always work properly. That throws us off. Okay. So maybe think of it in terms of, okay, it may not work the way I thought, but let me step away for a moment. Let me go back to it. And somehow or another, it always works out. Just like in this case, we found a way to make it work out. Not maybe necessarily the way we had anticipated. And by the way, speaking of the IT stuff, I am on my second mouse. I went through probably 3 batteries for my other mouse. And then I said, well, I know I have another mouse. Let me hook up the other mouse. And I hooked up the other mouse. It worked. So I threw away the other mouse. Now the garbage is already gone. And now I'm obviously having issues with the mic. And guess what? Crapped out right after that, the mouse. So there's some problem.
It always happens. And that's a good thing because again, the second piece to mindset is skills. So it's fine the way that it is. There's nothing that needs to be changed. That's the easy way out. That's the fixed mindset. Where a growth mindset said, is this really my best work? What else can I improve? So a lot of times that is where, we get fixed on, the way we do things. How many times do you find where you're, even with your fitness level, you end up doing the same routine over and over again? Well, how about if it's that, that particular workout that you absolutely like, change it up with adding weights or adding more weights, or even change up the routine, the actual within that routine. So maybe, you always started out with legs, ended with arms. Try doing your arms first. And try and doing adding some weights, and or you can do wrist weights as well. So change it up. Don't have that particular mindset that you're so stuck. And I'm going to do one more, and then we'll share 3 more next Monday. The next one is effort. This is a waste of time. There's a lot to figure out. I think we all can relate to that because, like, we got our new radio in, which is a handheld radio. And I'll be damned, I've read the instructions on attaching this antenna, and I'm like, why is it not working? There's, where this little whole thing's got to go. You're trying every different movement, read the directions, YouTubed it, still not getting it right. So I said, you know what, I'm going to put it down. So the effort, instead of getting like that, I'm going to say, I know this will help me, even though it is difficult. So eventually, I'm just going to put it down for a little while. Maybe pick out a different YouTube video to kind of see what I'm doing wrong, and it'll eventually work out. So that has to do with effort. So those were the first 3 that we shared, was desire, skills, and effort. And next Monday, we'll talk about setbacks, feedback, and talented peers. Now, when I hear the word talented peers, it doesn't have to necessarily mean in your professional career. It could be talented mom, talented dad, talented coach. So we're going to go through a wide range of that. So I thought that was pretty great to really embrace with your mindset that, sometimes we get stuck on that fixed growth or fixed, mindset, and we want to go to a more of a growth mindset, increase what we're doing, our knowledge, action, whatever it may be. That's what I got going on Monday.
Well, as everyone knows, I'm in Pennsylvania and here with Ryan. I'll be going to see him in just a little bit.
Awesome.
And, thank you. Ryan he always amazes me. And like his mindset, and he was describing a conversation he was having with someone. And it happened to be yesterday morning. And he thought, wow, this is kind of stressing me out, the situation that it was. And he said, he thought to himself, it's not my problem right now. So I just need to let it go. And I thought to myself, you know what, that for everything that he's been through, that's pretty amazing to kind of judge yourself where you are, how that's making you feel, and making that decision to, no, it's not my problem. And I was like, Ryan, that is like so awesome. And it obviously so great to see him. I could talk on and on about Ryan. And he took me to a Vietnamese restaurant. And, as we're walking in, he's obviously wearing his helmet. And he looked at me and says, I don't even care that people are looking at me weird. Like, he's just very, he definitely he's in that growth mindset.
And that's awesome. But you know what? And I think that's part of, what a good lesson to learn that, there are some times where, why do we focus, if somebody comes in looking different or wearing something different, we don't know their journey, why they're doing what they're doing. So let's practice, kindness. And just, accept that, whatever, it doesn't matter. And, for someone through everything that he's gone through, in the last 6-7 weeks, that's awesome. I think that's great. Make sure you let him know that Auntie and Uncle Johnny are trying our best at vegan. We're actually eating a lot of vegan products.
I did tell him that. He's like, oh, that's good.
And I have to say, I don't think we've had fish, or John's had fish a couple times. I have not had any beef. I haven't made any beef. I haven't said that we're not eating beef. We said that we would limit, but I think we decided we were only going to eat it once a month. But I've been eating strictly fruit, a lot of veggies. I've been doing a lot of vegan, like the burgers, not vegetarian ones, actually vegan burgers. We switched to plant butter a long time ago. So we've been using, that was a good get from Liz. Oh, and speaking of Liz, happy 41st wedding anniversary to Liz and Jack Lyman. If you happen to be in the area, today is their 41st wedding anniversary. Yes. And there's actually a couple other anniversaries. I think, who did I see? Bill and Carol out of North Haven. I think that's their anniversary. I don't know what year, but I think it's their anniversary too. Happen to just be scrolling quickly on social media. So if you got something special going on in your life, birthday, anniversary, we wish you that. And we will see you tomorrow. Now, I think are we on the same time? Because I know with your schedule.
8 a.m.
Yeah, so we'll be on at 8 a.m. We might do it this way again, where it's a record, and we will actually upload it to Facebook and obviously all of our YouTube channel, as well as I think we're on 16 different platforms now, which is amazing and awesome. And check out our new website. Jan, you want to recite our website? I believe it is TwoSistas. Online, which is different.
Yes.
Everyone keeps asking me, they're like,
well, here was the funny thing about it, where we are like 99.9% sure that we own TwoSistas, but for whatever reason couldn't get into it, so we're like, just whatever. TwoSistas online. So that's what we did. But
I like that. It's different.
Yeah, it has more of a ring to it, like TwoSistas.com. That's nice, but TwoSistas.online. Boom.
Yeah, bam. I like that. Good mindset. Good feel to it. I love it. Well, with that, we wish everyone a happy Monday. Be kind to yourself, not nice. There is a difference between nice and kind. We're going to actually talk about that over tomorrow for Triumph Tuesday, because I've got some good stuff that goes in that line. But we wish you a great day this Monday Mindset. Be kind to yourself. Make sure that you're doing something that you can say, I did it, I got it done, and I, changed my mindset, or it made me believe in myself more. That's the whole point of what we do, why we do all this for you. So with that, this is Carol Swift, AKA Naughty Bus, live with Two
Sistas. Hey everyone, this is Janice, aka Wellness Diva 5.0. We bid you farewell on this Mindset Monday, and we will see you tomorrow. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.